All right, guys, I'm going to show you how we do our fuel reports. Here you will see two different forms. One of these will go to Bill, the other one will come to me. So you're going to put your name up here, your start date, your end date. Get something to point with here. Your starting mileage and your ending mileage, your truck number and your trailer number. We don't do power only anymore. On this form, you're going to write down the date you got fuel, the state you got fuel, how many gallons you got, and how much it cost. You're going to do that for every fuel purchase here. You're then going to use this form to fill out this one. This one you will send to me. They'll have your driver's signature up here saying you verify that all of this is correct. It saves my ass in case you lose fuel receipts and the government comes after me saying I misreported. It's like, hey, that's what the driver gave me, and then I'll send them to talk to you. Your tractor number, your trailer number, your start date, your end date, the beginning odometer, your ending odometer, and the total miles you ran for the month. These reports are done monthly, and they have to be turned in at the beginning of every following month. So right now we are in November, so anything that you've done in November, you will have to turn in 1st of December. Now, you keep track of your own state miles however you choose to, whether you want to write them down on a pad. I always use Notepad in my iPhone or my iPad to write down my mileage. For each state that you've driven in, you're going to write down the state that you've driven in, the total miles throughout the month that you drove in that state, and the total number of gallons of fuel that you purchased for that month in that state. You will not be buying fuel in every state if you're the typical driver. Some of you guys may be ambitious and buy fuel in every state, but I don't expect it. So you're going to write your states down here, your total miles for those states driven here, and your total gallons of fuel purchased for each of those states. When you are done, for every time you get fuel, you're going to get 2 fuel receipts. One of the copies of the fuel receipts are going to be stapled to this paper, and one of the copies of the fuel receipts are going to be stapled to this paper. So when you get done, it's going to look like this. There's a staple. These are all the receipts for the fuel that you purchased. Here's your tractor number. The total amount of miles that you drove that month, the state you drove in, the amount of miles that you drove in each state, and the total amount of gallons that you purchased that month for the states that you purchased fuel in. Like this is, I think this is Adrian. He did 866 miles, 866.5 miles in California and bought a total of 254.3 gallons in California. Here he did Missouri. He drove 996.5 miles in Missouri and bought no fuel the entire month in Missouri. So this is what your final paper is going to look like. You're going to have 2 papers, one that go to Bill and one that come to me, and you're going to attach your fuel receipts to them. I need these the 1st of every month. I have to file IFTA quarterly, and I've done this for a long time, this particular method, when I drove truck, and I want to tell you from personal experience, if you wait till the last minute and try to do 3 months at one time, you are going to be hating life, because this is, doing 1 is time consuming. Doing 3, pack a lunch. You're going to be hating life. So make sure and get these done monthly. It's not as daunting